and an end-to-end game at Brentford for Spurs. This should be in the key word, set up to be an interesting game. To pick the bones, we have Sam, Dan, and Dan Raj. I think that's the way I'm going to go about it today, so we're not mixing up Dan's. First of all, Dan, welcome back on. I think you did was it the Spurs preview last year? The home game or preview? You remember? I can't remember if it was away or...
I think we were away, so it was your home game.
Okay. So you've come on for the reverse fixture. How are you feeling? How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Not bad. Nice to be back on. Excited for the game.
Absolutely. Likewise. Dan, Raj, how are you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, doing good. It's a Friday night here, so I'm already off work now.
Yeah, I could tell you the relief in your face as you were saying that there. Sam, are you as relieved as Dan?
Yeah, work was a bit sort of tough this week, and hopefully we could talk about this period and ignore all outside things going on outside of our club and just focus on the football, because that would be nice.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy at the minute. If you guys are equally relieved to get to the weekend, it is Friday, of course. Make sure you're leaving a like on the video. Get your chats in. Let me know your thoughts on this game between Manchester United and Tottenham, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. As always, with previews, we always kick it off with a warm-up, and obviously this is going to be related to Man United and Spurs. So are you ready, lads? Yes? Yeah. Okay. Who has scored more goals in the Premier League, Son or Rashford?
Son.
Rashford.
It's Son with 103. Rashford has 76. True or false?
Not even close then, Jesus Christ.
No, I thought it'd be much closer, to be honest with you. In the last 5 games against Spurs, United haven't lost one. True or false?
Didn't we lose that really heavy one? Was it 6-1? At Old Trafford?
No, I think we didn't lose still.
I'm not saying anything.
Last 5 games, I think we have not lost.
I say false, because I think we lost heavy once, I think.
People in the chat, what do we think?
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to go with Sam on that. I think it's false.
Dan? Raj?
It's true, I think. Yeah, I can't see in the near history we have been losing from Spurs. I think we had a couple of draws, if I'm not wrong.
So it's true. United haven't lost one in the last 5 games. 3-1, 3-0, 3-2, 2-0 and 2-2. So I don't know if that bodes well for us or if it means that the tide's going to kind of go the other way.
Did you a win?
Yeah, exactly. Who had more points in the Premier League? Poch when he finished second with Spurs, or Mourinho when he finished second with us?
Poch.
I can say Mourinho.
Yeah, I think Mourinho. So somewhere around...
Nope, Sam's right. Poch had 86 points 2016-17. Mourinho had 81 points 2017.
They should have won that title, Spurs. Should have won that title.
Bottled it against Leicester.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's unusual.
Lads, between yourselves, name players who have played for both Manchester United and Spurs and see how many you can get.
Berbatov. Sheringham. Carrick. Struggling now. Come on, Dad.
One. You're missing one that's like still relative now. Come on. He literally plays for us now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Who we bought?
Come on. We didn't buy him from Spurs, but he's... Lads, this is horrendous if you can't get this.
I've no idea.
No.
Christian Eriksen.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Fucking hell, still plays for us. That's the first one I thought you'd say. Eriksen, Carrick, Berbatov, Sheringham. Any others you can pick out there that you can think?
Eriksen, I can't get anyone else.
No, the obvious ones are pretty thinking. Louis Saha, Fraser Campbell are up there as well.
Fucking hell, Fraser Campbell. That is a name I have not heard in a long time.
Garth, I'm disappointed in that last one. You've done well, to be fair, before that. And then the last hurdle kind of thinking. Anyway, let's kick the preview off. We play Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow evening. Spurs, new manager at the helm. Is it Ange Postecoglou? Is that right? Am I pronouncing that right? I didn't pronounce it as like Posta Bolo. I don't think you could say his second name, could they, when we was doing the thing? But Spurs are now, of course, without the greatest goal scorer, Harry Kane, who's moved to Bayern Munich. They kicked things off, like I mentioned before, against Brentford with a 2-2 draw, which was pretty end-to-end. We, on the other hand, should have lost the game against Wolves on Monday. Wasn't great from us, if we're being completely transparent. Many issues in that game, which is worrying us and viewers. So I think, like I said, it should set up an interesting game. I think it'll be quite open, quite leaker, and I think there'll be a few goals in there. But what I want to do is we'll talk a little bit about Man United first, then we'll talk about Tottenham, and then as a collective. So, Sam, what do we need to address from the game on Monday night to come away with a result tomorrow?
The midfield, because we got walked through by every single Wolves player in that midfield. Casemiro got isolated by about 4 players. Mount and Bruno were too far up the pitch and disconnected, so they weren't helping him back. So that was helping. Wolves were playing so compact. We had all this space on the wings, but then our 2 wingers were doing absolutely nothing. Garnacho was terrible. Anthony wasn't great. When he finally did realise he had a right foot, he managed to get a cross in and created a chance, but then didn't do it for the rest of the game. And then our goal came from Wan-Bissaka finally doing an overlap and crossing it in, and our centre-back scored in, which just sums up our entire thing. None of our forwards are on form. Casemiro got isolated out of the game, and Bruno and Mount weren't effective enough within that midfield. So we need some sort of bite in that midfield, because Spurs have got very capable midfielders. I know Bissouma was left out of the squad last season, but when he looked very good against Brentford, and he's a good player. When he played at Brighton, I thought he was really, really good. I think they've got forwards that are very dangerous, so if our forwards are not up for it, their forwards will definitely score. I know we joke about Richarlison taking his shirt off and having goals disallowed, but Kulusevski is a very, very good player. I rate him very highly. Son, when he's on form, is fantastic. So they've got dangerous players. But our midfield needs to be sorted, because that was unacceptable what happened to us last time. I do think certain players will be dropped, like Garnacho and stuff like that. They could be dropped, sorry. So I think maybe a couple of changes, and that midfield needs to be shored up a lot.
Yeah. And another worrying point from last season, Dan Raj, sorry. Our away form wasn't great last season, was it? What can we do to put that right? Or what do you believe the main factor was causing that? Because at home, we only lost once to Brighton, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the main thing is like we were lacking in controlling games throughout the season, and especially when it comes to the away games. And even though we won few away games, but still those wins were like scrappy wins, like close ones, maybe winning with a 1-goal difference. And even though those easier games also we struggled to win by dominating the game. So maybe because due to the lack of crowd, I mean the support from the fans. So it's what drives our team as seen from the home games. But even though the final position in the last season doesn't justifies that point, but if we take only the away games in the rankings, we were far behind the top 4. So that which we need to improve this season. But it seems like there has been a lot of mood swings among the team whenever they play away games, and whenever they concede, they are unable to come together and gather the spirit back and play the game. But in home games we could see that we were at times 1-0 or 2-0 down, and we come back in the second half. But that was not seen when we play away games. So that driving force which we are getting from the home fans, we are not getting that when we go away. So that has to be resolved some way, because I think 2 seasons back we were actually having good results while playing away games. So that was totally unobvious. So, but this season, I think that energy has to be brought in from the home games to the away games. So it's the away games that matters the most. I mean, that will define the season.
Yeah, because we had some shockers, which I don't want to revisit at Liverpool and stuff like that. So yeah, it seems to be some form of mental block. I don't know what it was, but we definitely need to address that issue. Spurs, Dan, let's go with. From an outside perspective, what are your thoughts on Manchester United under Ten Hag? What do you think we'll achieve this year? Have you been impressed with the developments since he's come in? Be nice to get that kind of perspective, just because we obviously have red tinted glasses a lot of the time. So,
of course, yeah, there's definitely bias there.
Yeah.
I think I've got a good view of him. I think he's come into your team from my perspective with a lot of vigor, a lot of enthusiasm, a clear vision for the team and what he wants to achieve.
Yeah.
I think he's not. I think one of the qualities that I like about him is that he's not afraid to bench players if they're having hissy fits or if they're not performing well. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably. I think Maguire's the person where my mind goes to immediately is where he's had a couple of bad seasons. He was still getting played. He was still a first team player because he had that reputation for performing. And when a player's not performing, I don't believe that they should get a first team position. So I think Ten Hag's very much not afraid to bench those players that, they might have that status, but if they're not performing, they're not worthy of being in the first team. And I think that's really good. I think as well, he's, from what I've seen in interviews, is that he's very set on developing younger players from the academy. And I think it's great to have some, homegrown talent in the team. And it gives more motivation to academy players to try and get into that first team and break through. It also helps with kind of a strong development in transfers for you guys. If you can develop homegrown talent into like star signings at a young age that bring in a lot of revenue to the team, then you've got some great revenue streams to be able to push into the transfer market and get those players that you want. So yeah, I think from my perspective, he's a really good manager, and you performed well under him so far, and I think it's only going to get better for you guys.
Yeah, and you, of course, had a manager who also wasn't afraid to speak his mind at times and drop certain people in Conte last season. I think that's an understatement, to be honest. Like, the guy's an absolute madman. What's life like now with that kind of transformation with Ange Postecoglou coming in, the Harry Kane situation? Just chat to me as a fan. Like, how do you feel about that whole kind of debacle?
Obviously, it's very early days with a new manager. I think under Conte, the style of play that he had was very much sit back and counter-attack. And that was it. It was quick, small breakthroughs in the play, just a burst of energy now and again. We were very, very slow in the first half, and most of our goals conceded were in the first half, pretty much without fail. And we sometimes came back in the second half, but you can't rely on coming back from being down in the first half. And I think with Ange, I think from pre-season, from Brentford, we're very much in it from the start, and I really like to see that. It seems like there's a fundamental change in the way that we're playing games so far. I think we're much more possessive of the ball when we weren't. We were more, I think last season we were more, if you get the ball, run with it and hope that you can get to the other side of the field. I think now we're very much in control of the play, especially at Brentford. I think we had about 70% possession, passing the ball around, and we did really well. So, yeah, from my side, I'm excited because it seems like a real just revigoration of the team and a lot more energy at the moment. And I think Harry Kane leaving, I said it last time I came on, I wanted him to go. I think we needed fresh legs. We needed people with exciting football. He's got a very good leg on him, but he's not a runner. He can't pick up the pace with play. He's a very slow player, and he slows down the game. So I think the money that we got for him is a good thing for the team.
I think some of the individuals you brought in as well look very interesting. Sam, what have you made of their recruitment this transfer window? Have you been impressed? Because I was looking at the money that they spent, and it's the exact same as Manchester United. Yeah. Obviously, Kulinszewski kind of tied in with that as well, but I was a bit shocked. I was like, 190 million euros. That's interesting.
I think I said last season the window Spurs had, I thought was one of the best windows, and it didn't go well, did it? The season wasn't a great season. I thought Bissouma would be great. I thought Richarlison was a good sign and stuff, and they didn't really work. And they were slightly bigger names. Obviously, Son had an off season, so that didn't help matters either. I think without Kane, Spurs could have been in serious trouble. Like this season, they've gone the other way now. They haven't signed well-known names like Mickey van der Ven and Vicario and those kind of guys. You don't know much about them. They're not big, massive names, so you're not sure. I think signing Kulusevski was a very, very good thing. I thought he impressed when he's been there. A little bit injury prone, but I think he's impressed. Romero I like a lot, but he's so hot-headed, man. Like, he's just a walking red card. I think he's a good player, but he's just asking for trouble every time he plays. Even though, like, I think if he played for United, I'd fucking adore the man. But he's for other teams, he's a walking problem. But it'd be interesting to see this. The what?
It's a thing with Argentinians. You got
Oh yeah.
Then
Richarlison, fuck me, he's absolute madman. Sancho, there's a list of them.
But like Van de Ven looks interesting. Like I'm interested to see him because he's like brand new. Vicario, I haven't seen enough of him to know if he's going to be any good or not. I mean, if he's worse than Lloris in these last couple of seasons, then they're in serious trouble because he made so many mistakes in his last couple of seasons. The fact that he went off half-time during the game and said he was injured because how many was it, like 6 he conceded in the first half or something?
It's just the Newcastle game.
Yeah, and he was just like, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I think the coach is going to be interesting. He has some cool ideas. He's recruited players that are not very well known. And then now you're relying on players to step up in Harry Kane's absence. So, Son's got to step up. Kulusevski's got to take another step up. And Richarlison has to take a serious step up. Like, his goal tally last season was not acceptable. And he's got to stay fit. So, you've got to like have your forward line step up. Because if you don't, where are those goals coming from? Because Kane's no longer there. He's to give you 25 goals. So, you need players to step up. But it'd be interesting. I don't think the spotlight's on him this year. I think last year the spotlight was on him with Conte. I think the spotlight's a little less on. Nobody expects anything from the Spurs this season. So, I think that might do them well to sort of go under the radar and just pledge away and see where they can get.
Yeah. Brian Casey's in the chat saying Richarlison is Brazilian. I'm fully aware of that. What I meant was the Southern American kind of thing. You've got the Sancho, Antony, Casemiro. You know, they're all kind of hot-headed, is what I was alluding to. If I said Brazilian, then I'm obviously a bit of an idiot, but I didn't mean that. I meant for South American. Dan, Dan Raj, I'll bring you in on this shortly. Can we read out a few chats, Sam? And then we'll go back to it.
There's a lot of people talking about drinking tonight, which is good. People are in for the thing. Jim James, great show. United guys to win 2-1, but I've had a whiskey. You can tell by the way you wrote that. Good on him. Your place at Cosmos, I'm on 11th Guinness. Don't tell my missus. 11? I'd be on the floor, mate, if I had 11 Guinnesses. I could not handle that.
Lightweight, that.
Henry Jones, Maguire was awful in that 6-1. The second goal, he literally fouls Luke Shaw, and we should have had a free kick.
Player.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Anonymous Mango, even lads, sorry for the late arrival. Hope everyone is well. We're good, Mango. Thank you. Sulky saying, Sancho, you will play a part. I hope so. Because, Garnacho was terrible, so I hope so. I personally think Sancho should start in a false 9 tomorrow. However, I'd be surprised if Ten Hag starts in the same team from Wolves and tells them to go out there and do better than last game. Martial will bench Garnacho. Anonymous Mango, Ajax have said Mohamed Kudus is available for 45 million. Be great signing for us. Can play across the front line and in the midfield. Yeah, he looked like he was going to Brighton and then West Ham were involved, and now he's not signing for anything.
Yeah, but because Paqueta, because of the betting thing, they're not signing him either. So I don't think we can Kudus.
Mango saying Rasmus Hojlund to be on the bench for Nottingham Forest game. Apparently he said Arsenal, but maybe.
He said soon though, wasn't he? On his Instagram, so I think he'll be back.
Henry Jones has basically gone through the Tottenham team. Dan's not going to like this. Vicario, Emerson, awful. Romero, mid. VDV, alright. Perisic, grandad. Bis, humour. Son, washed. Richarlison, chicken. Kulusevski, yeah, he's not happy with any of the Spurs players. He's just destroyed
they've
all of the Spurs
clearly done
players.
something to him on FIFA or in the game.
Another Spigo 3-1 to United. Lucky saying we want to close down the space for tomorrow for those attack areas. You're placing the Cosmos 2-0. Brian Casey saying 3-0 United. So lots of positivity in the chat.
Yeah. Dan Raj, sorry. I see this being relatively tough tomorrow. I don't know why. Like, it seems a lot of people who's positive in the chat, and I absolutely love that. But I look at the individuals that they've got, and I'm slightly worried. Are you?
Yeah, definitely, because you see from the last game, they have been controlling the games, and we really struggle to push up when the opponent is controlling the game, and I think still they have that firepower in them to trouble us, because in the last game, their only one player from the forward was really playing good. Madison, other Son and Richarlison, they were not that great in that game, but still, even with one player in form, they were able to pull out 1 point. Then you can think like when if those two players, Son and Richarlison, they start kicking off out the game. I mean, they can really cause real troubles for us. But to be seen, because their two goals have come from the defenders, and so their forwards have really struggled. But if they start kick and their forward comes into the form, then definitely we are going to struggle in that games. And especially our midfield from the last game, we have seen that we have really struggled to win the midfield battle. But Tottenham plays with more like two defensive midfielders. I mean, two defense-minded midfielders. Then it leaves Casemiro alone fighting with both of those defensive midfielders. So it's going to be could be an open play game, because you see that the both of the styles are a little different in the formation. The midfield, we have like more attacking midfielders, and they have like less attacking midfielders, and that could open the game up. So it's going to be a really interesting game. But I can see both the teams scoring the goals, but we need to be cautious with their wing backs, especially.
You know, Jamie Carragher's going to be sat there with a drafted tweet ready to go when Casemiro, if he doesn't put in a good performance. All that nonsense he was spouting before about him is absolutely. He always did it last season with Sancho, and Sancho shut him up. So I hope Casemiro shows up tomorrow and puts in a really good performance. Just as a general kind of consensus, where do we think the key areas will be from both sides, lads? Where, like Dan, Spurs Dan, what are you worried about, for example, from our team? And then Sam, what are you worried about from Tottenham?
I'm worried about our defence personally. I think our defence is not up to scratch. We've clearly let a couple of goals in already, and yeah, we've got a few people who need to step up. Obviously, we've got Van der Ben, who's very new, and it'll take a little bit of time for him to get comfortable within the team. So I think we've got a real chink in the armour with our defence. In terms of who I'm afraid of on your team, not many. I think your performance against Wolves I think you guys were shocking. In recent years, I don't think I've seen any team walk through the complete centre of the field with no one to target them. So the only person I'm somewhat worried about is Onana. I think your goalie is the only person who can help you at the moment in your form.
That is strong. I thought we were strong in criticising, but that is very, very strong. But you're not wrong. Like, it was very, very worrying Monday. I don't know how we got away with the result on Monday night. It was so lucky. If they would have had anyone half competent in front of goal, they would have scored a good few goals. So in your assessment, you're absolutely spot on. Sam, are you worried at all?
There's players that worry me at Spurs. Like when Son's on form, he is ridiculously dangerous. He's such a dangerous player. But last season, he fell off a cliff, and I don't know if he's aging and he's losing a yard of pace, or he's turned into like a purple patch player. Like maybe the lack of Kane is going to hinder him because you don't have that partnership. I don't know. But when he's on form, he's very, very dangerous. I like Kulusevski a lot. I think he's got something about him. But again, injury prone. So if he's fit, then yeah, that could be a worry. I think they're like Dan said, their defence can be got at, because I think it's not up to standard. Like, I think our defence is a lot better, and I think we can get at it if our forwards are on form. Obviously, if Garnacho and Rashford and Anthony play like they did against Wolves,
fucking hell, especially Garnacho, Jesus Christ,
it's an easy night for Romero and whoever else is playing in that defence. Like, they'd have to worry. But if our forwards show up, if Garnacho plays the way he can, and Rashford plays the way he can, then we should destroy that defence. But it's just if they show up or not, that's the problem. Spurs will always Spurs. I'm sorry, Dan, but they will. Like, they always seem to choke at some point. But I don't think that point's now. Like, it seems to be in finals or getting over the line or a trophy. It seems to be that's where they tend to fall apart. Like, in these sort of games, it seems to be quite decent. Our record is quite good, like you said, with the 5 and stuff, but maybe that's saying maybe they're due a win. I don't know. But I think the best thing we've ever looked under Ten Hag was that Spurs game. I think that's the best we've ever looked under Ten Hag. So maybe there's something in that. I don't like. I'm not confident about tomorrow at all. Like I've got it. We'll get into score predictions later, but yeah, I'm not super confident at all. So
it's interesting you mentioned the attackers there, like Son and Rashford. I think them two are very alike. I think I can see in purple patch at times. Like when they are both on it, they're unplayable and can be one of the best players in the Premier League. It's if they're on it. Like Rashford pre-season got 1 goal, didn't really look on it. Didn't really do. I know he's playing as a 9 against Wolves, but then I'm worried about that as well if he's playing as a 9 against Thinger. So I'll save it for the predicted, but I'd draft other people in for that and switch it up in attack because we need to do it. I didn't have this planned, but should we do a combined 11? I just thought, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, we up for it? And let's just try be level with it rather than, do you know what I mean? I understand this is a United fan channel, etc., but let's try have a measured kind of approach to this. So, in net.
Onana.
Sandro Onana.
Yeah.
Has to be. Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Okay. Defense. What do you think about the defense? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Emerson Royale.
I think it has to be Wan-Bissaka, doesn't it? Because I know Royale scored against Brentford, but most of the time he's shocking. Like he's a shocking defender.
It was a lucky goal. It came to his feet and he shot it. So I'm going to say
Dan Raj. So didn't you have him in your FPL? You had him on the bench, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, he's got me points. What's going on here? Yeah, decent goal. Centre backs.
Once you scored, I was just hoping for any one of the on-field players. I mean, in my FPL team, not to play, but everybody played.
Centre backs. You got Romero, Van der Ven, Lissandro, Varane.
I think Lissandro has to be one, doesn't he?
Yeah. Maybe Lissandro and Romero. I know Varane has scored a goal, but
you'd have Romero over Varane.
No, Martinez and Romero. Yeah. Romero over Varane at this point.
I would have Lissandro and Varane, but just because I think if you put Romero in your team, you're asking him to be sent off.
Lissandro Romero, to be fair, is
Lissandro's red card
record. Winning that.
Lissandro record's not that bad though, is it? Like he hasn't got that many red cards, whereas Romero pretty much at least every season he's getting 3.
Yeah. I think this will start changing slightly as we get into the midfield and attack because I think most of the defence will be United. In my personal opinion, I think.
Put up an argument, Dan.
Any arguments? Yeah, go for it.
I think it's hard. If Varane's on form again, if the game against Wolves was any indicator of him being back on form, then I'd pick Varane and Romero. But I think from last season's performance, I'd probably say Lissandro and Romero.
Okay. I'm happy to. It is a combined preview, so I'm happy. I'll put Romero in there. Luke Shaw at left back.
Who's theirs? Ben Davis. Ben Davis.
Oh God, that's not even a conversation. Jesus. Yeah. Midfield. What are we saying for midfield? Casemiro. I really like Bentancur. Really like him as a player.
He's injured though, isn't he?
Still injured.
Is he still? Is he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah, he's a top player when he's available, but midfield lads, talk to me.
I'd say Casemiro and probably Basuma. I think he did.
That would be actually a good combination in the midfield.
It's a bit more balanced than what it was on fucking Monday night. Anyway, wow.
After one game though, Basuma, like last season, he didn't do anything, did he? Like.
He didn't suit the style of play that Conte was about. I don't think he's agile, he's quick, and he wasn't played either.
I think
he hardly had any games.
Brighton Basuma, absolutely. Brighton Basuma was excellent, but he's had one good game for Spurs, and it's like
Basuma.
There you go.
Brian Basuma. I think if we're going off this, if we're doing a combined 11, it's got to be this season. I know there's only been one game, but it's got to be this season. And judging from what I saw on Monday night, I would have Basuma in that midfield next to Casemiro with Bruno Fernandes ahead of him, in my opinion.
Yeah, so the thing is, we are comparing Basuma with, whether having Mount or Basuma.
Yeah.
So that's where I would rather keep Basuma because just to give that balance to the midfield.
Who's your James Madison? So it's James Madison or Bruno?
Bruno.
That's a tough one, but
Bruno Fernandes.
Even after the performance of Monday.
Yeah, but look, Bruno Fernandes is second behind Kevin De Bruyne in my opinion. Premier League. I think it goes De Bruyne, Bruno, Ødegaard, top 3 in the Prem.
On last season, absolutely.
No, I think this season, I think Maddison was better than Fernandes. I think Maddison had a few good runs. He crossed the ball into when Romero scored, which was a great cross. And he also played a couple of through balls through to Richarlison, who couldn't fucking keep it at his feet. But there were some good passes that could have been scored. So I reckon Maddison.
Dan? Raj? Fucking hell.
I would have gone with Bruno. Casemiro and Basuma.
I have to be fair because I said it was based on this season. I have
Yeah.
to go off this season. To be fair,
It's Maddison.
if you're comparing it on one game, then Maddison was better in that.
Yeah.
But my overall opinion is
I think
we'll go with that,
player to player, Bruno's a better player than James Maddison. Player to player.
It's not miles away though between him because I think Maddison is a top level player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
So, yeah. Right. So then we get onto the attack. This is where it gets a little bit more.
Well, none of us have got an actual number 9 because Richarlison's not number 9, Rashford's not number 9, so it's like that's the issue.
I don't know how this is going to shape up. This is going to be a bit mad.
I think the left side is sorted, right? Maybe.
Is it?
Rashford on the left.
But again, we're going into this season.
Kulusevski plays. Is he on the right or the left?
He's on the right.
Okay, he's going on the right. He goes on the right.
Over Antony?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, for me also.
Yeah, I'm behind that. I think Kulusevski on the right, Son on the left, and definitely not Richarlison. Definitely not. So whoever you guys want to pick.
We can bring back Weghorst.
No, Weghorst wouldn't even get. I'd put Richarlison over Weghorst.
Could we put Sancho in the number 9?
No, I would.
I would rather start Sancho on the left because when he came on in the last game, he was making a difference.
He was decent when he came on.
Henry's saying Højlund. He's not even played a game. Henry, we can't pick him. He's not played a game.
No.
Based upon the training.
But then Rashford wasn't great in the last game. Very isolated as the 9, wasn't he? Fucking hell, I don't know.
Should we go Rashford down the middle and then Son on the left?
Yeah.
Because
I'll do that.
We haven't got we can't put Garnacho there because he'd be shocking. We can't put Martial there because he hasn't played. Højlund hasn't played, and Sancho had a substitute appearance. So it's like that's literally all we have.
Can we just say and have this clip here for evidence and think it? When people start going mad when we put the graphic out and they're like, what do you mean Bruno over fucking whatever? Just emphasise the point in capital letters that this is based on going into this season and one game. Because people will lose the shit and they'll see it and they'll be like, why are you picking him over him? Just so it's out there, it's evidence, you can see it. Right, so we've got Onana, Wan-Bissaka, Romero, Lisandro, Shaw, Casemiro, Basuma, Maddison, Kulusevski, Rashford, and Son Heung-min. Crazy that there's a lot of teams out there without a striker at the minute. Spurs, not really. United, not really. Real Madrid, without a striker. I mean, who plays up top for them? I don't even know.
Chelsea's main striker's injured as well, and Kunku's injured.
I do like the look of that Nicholas Jackson though. Looks really, really good. Him. It looks bright and exciting. But yeah, strange. There's a few big teams without number 9 at the moment. Right, let's do some quick fire questions, lads. Tomorrow night, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. Will United Spurs keep a clean sheet? I'll go Dan, Raj, Sam, and then Dan.
No.
It's a clean sheet for us, or a clean sheet?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Am I saying clean sheet for United?
For Spurs.
Definitely not. No, no.
That's fair enough. Will there be more than 3 goals in the match?
Yes.
You mean the combined or one side?
Just it combined.
Combined. Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah. I said at the beginning. Yeah.
I know, I'm trying to go in. Dan?
Yes. 1-3.
Okay. Will Romero Sancho start? Dan. Raj.
Yes. I think Garnacho was not that good, so I think maybe he will start on the left, Sancho.
Okay.
Romero, yes. Sancho, no.
Romero, yeah. Sancho, from what I've heard, is a power sub from last game, so I think he'll start.
Okay. Will Marcus Rashford or Son score?
Yeah.
Son will, Rashford won't.
I'm going to go opposite. I think Rashford will and Son won't.
I think both will score.
Nice, I like it. Will there be anything significant like a red card, penalty, or controversial VAR decision?
Yeah.
Usually isn't there, to be fair. Usually is.
Yeah, I think yes. We can expect one.
I mean,
One red card.
we've had one game and Onana already gave us one, didn't he? So it's, you know what I mean. So,
Close. Yeah. Very, very close.
Controversial decision. So I'll go yeah.
Okay. And prediction for man of the match, Dan Raj, you first.
Casemiro.
Strong, going strong. Sam.
He's just voted for himself. That's
Yeah.
all he's done. I'll go for a Spurs player. I think Maddison.
I can see Kulusevski doing pretty well. I reckon Kulusevski.
Kulusevski, sure, has got his challenges ahead of him. Yeah, predicted 11s. Have we got the fingers ready?
The graphics. Yeah.
Let me know who's you put up
We
first.
can go whoever wants to go first. We can do so.
Dan, let's go with Dan. Spurs Dan.
Oh, hold on.
See.
Dan's
gone for.
Spurs. Dan's not even on screen, so give me a second.
No worries.
Two Sams.
Let me put yours on, Nick. You go for yours. While I sort
then you go.
I'll sort Dan's camera out.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of us would be similar. To be fair, I think Onana starts in net for obvious reasons. I remember Saka was man of the match in the last game. He's playing really, really good football at the moment. Equally with Varane, he'll be alongside Sancho, Silk and Steel 2.0. Luke Shaw at left back. I do think he sticks with Casemiro, Mount, or Bruno because I don't see him dropping Casemiro because no one can do his role. Mason Mount's a new signing and Bruno Fernandes is the captain, so I think he'll stick with that. He'll make some tweaks and he'll make it more compact. The front three is where it gets interesting because I've chopped and changed this about 1 million times. I don't even know if this front three that I've told you that I put on is the same one, but I'll just go with it. Anthony, Sancho, Rashford.
Yeah.
Is that what I said? I was going to put Martial in there.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Martial. Yeah, you put Martial originally.
Right, okay. Yeah, so I was in two minds, either one or the other, but I'll stick with Sancho because I don't think Martial's match fit. And then Rashford on the left-hand side, I think.
Cool. Should we do me next? I'll go with mine. I've got almost the same as you, but I think he's going to give Garnacho another opportunity because I think he had such a terrible game, and I think if he benches him, it might affect his confidence a little bit. I know he seems better off the bench, but I think he's going to give him another opportunity. So I think it's pretty much the same team as last time. So I don't think he changes anything because I think he wants to give him another opportunity to sort of go through. So I've not made any changes. I just hope our front line steps up to the plate again. I hope they actually do something this time because if they don't step up this one, I think then that's when Ten Hag goes, okay, you had your opportunity. Like he did with the first two games last season, gave Maguire and people a chance. They didn't step up and he's like, right, you're done. So I think that's what he's going to do.
Okay. Up next.
Dan Raj.
Yeah, I think the back five will be the same from the last game. Onana, Van Bissaka, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw. And the midfield also, I think, will be the same. But I think Ten Hag might have instructed Mason Mount to be more on the midfield side rather going too ahead of the pitch. So Bruno, Casemiro and Mount as the midfielders. And on the right, Anthony starts. And up top, Rashford. And on the left side, I think Sancho starts. Because I think he has now shown, like, in every game, whenever he has come on, even in pre-season also, he has been so effective. And even in the last game, he looked so electric. But yeah, I also get the point what Sam is mentioning about affecting his confidence level, Garnacho's confidence level. But now both are in the same boat, Sancho and Garnacho at this point. So I think Sancho might get a chance tomorrow.
Yeah, interesting. And finally, who is going to line up for Spurs, do we think?
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm not thinking of many changes. I think our defence was shocking. So I'm going to go with Vicario in goal because that's already an option. I'm going to say Emerson stays on. Romero's going to stay on because I think there was concern about concussion. He's all right now, so he's fit for the game. And he played well for the 10 minutes that he did play. I think Van de Ven's going to still get in the first squad. I think he's new. He's going to take a little while to get comfortable, but I think we need to give him that chance. Udogie, I think needs to come off. I didn't really hear or see much of him in the game, so I think he's going to get replaced by Ben Davis. Not a great option, but I think it's better. And then the rest remains unchanged. I think Skip's going to stay on. Basuma obviously played really well. I think Son will stay on. I think he'll hopefully have a better game because he wasn't fantastic and obviously gave away that penalty. I don't know why he was in our box trying to defend when he's a winger. And then Maddison, Kulusevski, and Richarlison's going to stay. I think we've got no other options in the striker position. I think.
Will you bring one in, Dan? A striker? Do you think before the end of the window?
I honestly don't know. I think if those four players, if Son, Maddison, Kulusevski, Richarlison, if they work out some sort of harmony, some sort of equilibrium where they all understand each other, I think they can be a really good, forward.
Who would they buy though? There's nobody available.
Exactly.
Well, we've had this issue, haven't we, ourselves? To be fair, like we don't know who's going. But yeah, I don't know. I was wondering if he was going to go in because that money's got to be spent from Kane, right? From somewhere, like. Sure.
Yeah, at some point, or Levy's going to pocket it. I think is
he's already on holiday now.
Yeah.
His feet up.
Yeah. I think we'll either sit on it until next transfer window and hope that someone comes in. I think we could possibly get some unknown and hope that they perform.
Is there anybody in the academy?
No, really, no.
Not a fucking bean in the academy.
We have few players we can see.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, we've got Martial. If you want to take Martial,
Yeah, if you want Martial, you can have him.
He's only on 250 grand a week.
Yeah.
But you can have him if you want him in there. It's probably on more than what Kane was. There's the usual motorbike going past. Yeah. Not paid.
His availability is not great either, Dan. But there's more things to worry about.
Yeah, it might only be available for 7 games, but yeah, you can have him. Same order, please. Score predictions for tomorrow evening's game. Dan, Raj.
I'm going with a draw, 2-2.
Ah, interesting. Who scores, Dan?
Rashford and Bruno. And from Tottenham, I can see Son scoring and Maddison.
Sam?
Henry Jones really hates Spurs. He's just put 6-0 United.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. If that happens, I'll do something outrageous on stream. Like that's 6-0. We have not got 6 goals in that team.
Can you imagine going for that Wolves performance to absolutely smashing Spurs 6-0? That would be insane.
Outrageous.
Dan's took my score out of me. I think 2-2. I think.
Don't tell me we're gonna have a full house of 2-2s. Go on.
I think Garnacho gets one. I think Mason Mount gets one, and I think Son and Maddison free kick from Maddison.
I don't see Mason Mount scoring at all.
I don't either. But I have to manifest something, Dan, because honest to God, I don't like him being at United. But I'm trying to be positive and get behind the lad. So
okay, fair enough. It's admirable. I think I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna have a bit of confidence and say 3-2 Spurs.
Okay.
I'd like a win. It'd be nice because we drew last game. I think you guys, I'd say Rashford, Sancho. I think for us it'll be Kulusevski, Maddison, and I reckon it'll be a defender. I think Romero might score another from a set piece from like a Maddison cross.
I think one thing we're all aligned on is the fact that there's going to be goals tomorrow, right? Both sides.
It's going to be a 0-0 draw now, isn't it? It's just going to be a boring 0-0 draw now.
I hope not, because I'm doing the fucking watch along, so it best not be a 0-0. I want some goals, man. After that Wolves performance. I've also gone 2-2, Mount, Casemiro, Maddison, and Van de Ven. I've put as the 2.
On his debut.
Yeah, on whose debut?
On Van de Ven's debut.
No, he played last game, didn't he? Yeah.
Did he start last game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think he'll score, so 2-2. But hopefully, obviously, we hope Manchester United win. But let's have an entertaining game, to say the least. that concludes the preview for today, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel, smash a like if you've enjoyed this one. Like I mentioned just then, I'll be live at 4:30 tomorrow with team news, so come and join me on the watch along and we'll watch the game together. Big thank you to Spurs Dan for coming on. All the best for tomorrow, mate.
Thanks, lads. You too. I hope you get thrashed.
Yeah, and thank you to the lads for joining me on the previous. Any final words from the United boys for tomorrow? Any words of wisdom
Just
or
3 point, just a better performance, please. Just something to be excited about, because that performance on Monday was atrocious. So just something to enjoy would be nice.
I would love to see, winning midfield battles, to be honest. I can't see Casemiro like roaming around alone.
No, not again. Not with Basuma Skip just swallowing him up. Like that cannot happen. Cannot. Yeah.
Do you know that? Do you remember the old Hulk television show where he's walking down the road and the sad music's playing and he's just by himself until he disappears out of view? That's kind of what watching Casemiro in that game was like. Just
he was
isolation,
he was alone,
just isolation and loneliness. Like there's nobody helping him.
One thing that Ten Hag's good at is tweaking. He's very good tactically, and he can switch things up. So I'm kind of relying on that tomorrow, because you can't be doing that. We'll definitely lose if we play like we did against Wolves. So one can only hope. But yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully, we're not speaking after the game when we do the review and in utter disgust with the way we performed again. So yeah. Anyway, let's go watch the game tomorrow. I hope everyone has a lovely weekend and a Friday night. And yeah, come and join me for the watch along. Drop us a follow on socials. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.